Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert's Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. This week in WWE. In 2017, I'm going to do a series each week covering the matches for WWE for the entire week. Monday Night Raw, SmackDown Live, 205 Live, and NXT. Now, any NXT specials like the United Kingdom tournament coming up on January 15th will be done in its own videos. NXT takeovers, WWE pay-per-views will be previews and reviews like always. This is just the weekly shows this week in WWE. Beginning with January 2nd, Monday Night Raw. First match of the year, we had Seth Rollins versus Kevin Owens. The loser of this match was banned from ringside for the United States tournament, United States title match between Roman Reigns and Chris Jericho. Obviously, Seth Rollins' friend Roman Reigns, and then Kevin Owens' best friend Chris Jericho. Well, Kevin Owens got disqualified, so Seth Rollins won by disqualification. So that means Kevin Owens was banned from ringside for that match later. Next, we had Cesaro with Sheamus versus Carl Anderson with Luke Gallows. Carl Anderson won by pinfall. Next, we had a last man standing match. We had Sami Zayn versus Braun Strowman. I look at this Sami Zayn, Braun Strowman feud, rivalry, whatever you want to call it. Reminds me a lot of Dean and Bryan and Triple H from a few years ago. It would have been 2 years ago. When every time Dean and Bryan was able to get up on someone or get up on Tripp screwed him. And then it, ended up being at WrestleMania. Dean and Bryan won the opening match of WrestleMania 30 versus Tripp. The winner went on to the main event. Dean and Bryan, main event, WrestleMania 30, won the world title. The world celebrated. I was there live. I have a feeling they're playing that same storyline with Braun Strowman and Sami Zayn, and kind of with Mick and Stephanie and Sami Zayn. So Braun got the victory here in the last man standing match, just beat the holy tar out of Sami Zayn. It was actually a fairly decent match for a last man standing match. I'm a huge Sami Zayn fan. I want this to, finish up just like Dean and Bryan at WrestleMania 32. Sami Zayn winning the world title. That would just be holy shit and epic. Hopefully it does follow that. Next we had just kind of a random match. Titus O'Neil versus Xavier Woods with the New Day. Woods getting a pinfall on Titus O'Neil. Earlier Titus was trying to join the New Day, and it ended up in this match. Next we had a cruiserweight match. We had Cedric Alexander versus Drew Gulak. Drew Gulak getting with his buddy Tony Nese, and him getting the victory over Cedric Alexander. And Alicia Fox was with him. Alicia Fox! Next, we had the U.S. title match, where if Roman Reigns was disqualified, he loses the title. We had a U.S. title match, Chris Jericho versus Roman Reigns. No shenanigans at all. Seth Rollins didn't come out. Kevin Owens didn't come out. Nothing. Straight pinfall victory, Roman Reigns pinning Chris Jericho. I thought this was the point where they put the U.S. title on Chris Jericho in order for Roman to win the Universal title at Royal Rumble. Don't quite sure how that's going to work out now. We'll see about that. Next, we had another cruiserweight match. We had the Brian Kendrick versus T.J. Perkins. T.J. Perkins winning by submission. Next, we had Rusev team up with Jinder Mahal versus Big Cass in a 2-on-1 handicap match. Enzo Amore was supposedly injured in a wheelchair. Rusev got the pinfall and Big Cass. Next, we had a number one contenders match for the women's title. We had Bayley versus Nia Jax. This is a rematch from NXT TakeOver about a year or so ago. Just Nia Jax just totally annihilated Bayley through most of this match. Sasha ended up coming out, which as we all know, Sasha and Nia Jax had a little incident on Monday Night Raw a couple weeks ago. Nia comes out on the ramp, Sasha comes out on the ramp, kind of distracted distracted Nia Jax, and Bayley ended up getting a belly to belly suplex and getting the victory. So Bayley versus Charlotte at the Royal Rumble for the WWE Women's Raw title. Of this Raw, the best match, I believe, was Seth Rollins versus Kevin Owens. And then the second best match was actually the U.S. title, Roman Reigns versus Chris Jericho. On to SmackDown Live on January 3rd. It started out with Dolph Ziggler versus Baron Corbin. Kind of tired of this feud, actually. They need to do something different. Baron Corbin ended up getting the pinfall victory. He attacks Dolph. Kalisto comes out because Kalisto and Corbin's had some issues. And then, out of nowhere, we get Dolph Ziggler super kicking Kalisto in a heel turn by Dolph Ziggler. Woo! Heel Dolph, I love it. We get heel Neville and heel Dolph. So we'll see where heel Dolph goes from here, but hopefully big and better things. Next we had Becky Lynch versus La Luchadora. Becky Lynch getting the submission victory over La Luchadora. The thing is, La Luchadora rolls under the ring and he comes back out. We didn't realize there was two La Luchadoras. One was Alexa Bliss. We don't know who the other one was. I'm going to say Nikki Bella, but I don't know for sure. Next, we had a match, another women's match. We had Carmella versus Aaliyah. Aaliyah, NXT women's wrestler. Carmella getting the submission victory over Aaliyah. Next, we had a tag match. We had Breezango, Tyler Breeze, and Fandango versus American Alpha, Jason Jordan and Chad Gable, the greatest tag team in WWE right now. Them getting a short, quick 1-2-3 victory over Breezango. In the main event for the SmackDown Live on January 3rd was the Intercontinental title line. We had champion The Miz versus Dean Ambrose. In a very good, I give it 3.5 stars, which for me is hard to rate a weekly show because of commercial breaks and whatnot, but I give it 3.5 stars. And the winner and new Intercontinental Champion, Dean the Gene Ambrose. Dean Ambrose because he wore jeans all the time. He's who really needs to turn heel. So that was interesting for SmackDown going off the air with a new Intercontinental title, which unfortunately means hopefully they're not doing something with Miz in the Rumble. That kind of scares me because he's a former World Heavyweight Champion. He has main evented WrestleMania. Unfortunately, he main evented WrestleMania versus John Cena, and John Cena has a world title shot versus AJ Styles at the Royal Rumble. So if we really want to redo that storyline, please, dear God, no. But yeah, it's possible. All right, on the 205 Live, the best matches I thought was the Dolph and Baron Corbin match and the Intercontinental title match. It was the two best matches of SmackDown Live. 205 Live on January 3rd, we had Tajiri returning making his 205 Live debut versus Sean Maluta. Tajiri getting the victory. This poor Sean Maluta, very talented in the Cruiserweight tournament. He's been on NXT a couple times. He's had this 205 Live match. He's always losing. Let this guy get over. He's got a lot of talent. He's one of the more talented 205 Live guys. Next, we had Tony Nese with Drew Gulak versus Jack Gallagher. I don't know what they're doing with Amiri Tavari. He comes out and attacks Jack Gallagher, cancels the match. Why those two are feuding and the stupidness of the feud, I don't understand it. But next, we had a match between Noam Dar and Mustafa Ali. Great young talent. Really want to see more on him. Mustafa Ali, he's one of the top cruiserweights right now. Him getting the victory over Noam Dar. I actually gave it 3.25 stars. It was great. It was a really good match. And then the main event of 205 Live was heel Neville versus TJ Perkins. Neville getting the victory. I gave it 3.75. That's a good thing about 205 Live. It's on the network, so there's no commercials. A couple breaks, but generally there's no commercials, so you really rate that. So Neville getting the victory there. So the two best matches of 205 Live was Noam Dar versus Mustafa Ali, and then Neville versus TJ Perkins. And then from NXT this week was 2 hours long. It was a special from Sydney, Australia. Started off with the Revival, two-time NXT Tag Team Champions, one of the greatest tag teams in WWE right now, versus Riddick Moss and Tino Sabatelli. Very good match. Riddick Moss, Tino Sabatelli, part of the house show roster. Seen them a couple of times on NXT. Good young talent. I bet they can go far in NXT. The Revival getting the victory. I give it 3.5 stars. Next, kind of a random put-together match with Elias Simpson teaming with Bobby Roode, Glorious, versus Buddy Murphy and Ty Dillinger. Just kind of keeping the Ty Dillinger, Bobby Roode thing going. Dillinger getting a pinfall and Elias Sampson. Nothing big, nothing bad. Next, we had a triple threat women's match. We had Liv Morgan versus Ember Moon versus Billie Kay. Ember Moon getting the pinfall victory on Billie Kay. Besides Asuka, really, Ember Moon's the next best in NXT, then Billie Kay, Peyton Royce, Liv Morgan, kind of all there together. Ember Moon getting the victory here, so we'll see if that turns into a title match, possibly at 205 at NXT TakeOver San Antonio, but we'll see. Next, we had a NXT tag titles on the line. We had champion #DIY versus TM61. Holy snap, what a match this was. This is one of the greatest tag matches we've seen since TakeOver Toronto. Just TM61, I think they're great anyway. Nick Thorne and Shane Miller, great tag team. I give it 4 stars. DIY retaining their tag titles. Once they left to come back in, they shook hands with TM61 and kind of rub off, kind of get the crowd with them, behind them. So it was good to see that. The main event on NXT was NXT Championship on the line in the Steel Cage match. We had two-time NXT champion Samoa Joe versus two-time and current NXT champion Shinsuke Nakamura, and just an unbelievable finale to these guys' feud. 4.25 stars. Shinsuke retaining his NXT title. I look at this kind of being Joe's farewell in NXT. He'll probably be in the Rumble and being called up. I can actually see if Bobby Roode wins NXT TakeOver, San Antonio wins the NXT title from Nakamura. Nakamura could be in that Rumble too. So, after going through all the matches, I got a top 10 of matches of this week in WWE. Number 10 comes from Monday Night Raw. Cedric Alexander versus Drew Gulak. Drew Gulak getting the victory. Number 9 coming from SmackDown Live. Dolph Ziggler versus Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin getting the victory. Excuse me there. And number 8 coming from Monday Night Raw, the U.S. title. Chris Jericho versus Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns getting the victory. Number 7 comes from NXT Monday Night Raw. Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins. Number 6 comes from 205 Live. Noam Dar and Mustafa Ali. Number 5 comes from NXT, The Revival versus Riddick Moss and Tino Sabatelli. And number 4, SmackDown Live, IC title. The new champion, Dean Ambrose, versus the old champion, The Miz. And number 3, 205 Live, Neville versus TJ Perkins. Neville getting the victory. And the second best match of the week was NXT Tag Team titles, #DIY retaining the titles versus TM61. And the best match of the week for WWE came from NXT, the NXT Championship match, in a cage match, Nakamura retaining this title versus Samoa Joe. So hopefully each week I will have This Week in WWE here at Robert Sports Show. If you haven't checked it out yet, check out Robert Sports Show, The Road to NXT TakeOver San Antonio, where I have 8 different top 10 lists representing all the NXT TakeOvers. I've watched them all. And I kind of grouped all the world title, women's title, tag titles, all the matches, the best 10 matches of each category. And stay tuned, Robert Sports Show, to the road to the Royal Rumble, coming soon for Robert Sports Show. And don't forget to check out WWE or NFL divisional playoffs preview coming up this week. As always, thanks for watching the Robert Sports Show. Don't just have a great night, have a spiffy night. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports channel content.